This is 9th standard Science and Technology Part 2, Lesson number 8, Useful and Harmful Microbes. In this lesson, we learn that useful microorganisms and harmful microorganisms. Here you show there one diagram, and there it shows the different types of microorganisms. They are showing there someone as a useful and someone as harmful microorganisms for your living organism. Then first, we learn that for useful microorganism. Then which is the useful microorganisms? First you learn that useful microorganism, that is Lactobacillus. Here you observe this diagram, there is some microorganisms are moving for here and there, and these are showing that rounded shaped microorganisms. Then this is the Lactobacilli. That means the Lactobacilli is present in your buttermilk. And the Lactobacilli convert lactic acid, lactose, the sugar in the milk, and into the lactic acid. This process is called the fermentation. This is the lactobacillus. As the result of the pH of the milk is decreases, causing formulations of the milk protein. These milk protein are separated from the other quantities of milk. Why it is due as for the yogurts? Because yogurts has a specific sour taste due to the lactic acid. Then the pH value of the destroy harmful microbes are present in the milk. So this is the use for lactobacillus microbes. These lactobacillus microbes are used for their different varieties. That means various products of milk like yogurts, buttermilks, ghee, then Srikhand. These are the used for the fragmentation of the milk. Then lactobacilli fragmentation is used for the large scale productions of cocoa, pickles of vegetables. Then lactobacilli also useful for their microbes like together are used to treat of abnormal discomforts. That's these are the different uses of the lactobacilli. Then second, you learn their rhizobium. That is here, I written here rhizobium, that symbiotic bacteria. That means in the rhizobium, these are present like this one as a round dumbbell shape, these rhizobiums, and these rhizobiums are present in the planet of groundnuts or penguins. These are, notice that the such part, this part is called the root noodles. These root noodles are present in this the nitrogen. That means rhizobiums living in a root noodles, and it is supplied by the nitrates for your living plants. Then these are show like this one. These are the one of the cross section of these root noodles, and here you show their different parts, and here you have to show there the nitrogens are convert to your nitrate and ammonia. Then these are giving their symbiotic because the leguminous plant to obtain these bacteria and the rhizobiums basically useful to these plant are harmful. These are the related to each other, so it is called a symbiotic bacteria. Then these are the showing that a rod shaped bacteria, and this the show like this one. This is the role and importance of rhizobiums. That is, the rhizobiums living in the root noodle supply nitrates and amino acids to that the plant and exchange get the energy into the carbohydrates from it. Such a mutually benefits relationships is called their symbiosis because they are related to each other. Rhizobium produce nitrogen compounds from the atmospheric nitrogen. The proteins process of nitrogen fixation, they need a leguminous plant like beans, sweet pea, soybean, etc. As the host beans and pulses are the rich in proteins due to the nitrogens compounds made up of available in rhizobium. After the harvesting of leguminous crop, the leftover the root and other plant part are deliberated, dumped into the farm soil to maintain its bacterial populations. These are the root noodles is used for their bacterial populations. The use of the rhizobiums, these rhizobiums has helped to reduce the use of chemical fertilizers and thereby their adverse effects. It has also helped to reduce the expenses on fertilizers and thus the work to the benefit of the farmer. Then you learn the third one, that is the yeast. Yeast is look like this one, that is the one teddy. These are the cell wall, bud, these are the nucleus and this is the cytoplasm. Here you have to see like this one, same as for there, some bird like part. So it is a rounded body attached to them a small ball. This is a rounded body attached to there a small ball and it is a new daughter cells. This is called your new daughter cells of the yeast in the process of formations. Then this method is said there a sexual reproduction is called their budding because this part is called their new daughter cells, that is the budding for here. It's like this one, like this one. These are. Yeast is the heterotrophic fungi microbes that grows on the carbon compounds. These are grows in a carbon compound, so it is a fast growing fungi. Then yeast is the multicellular fungi with the 1500 different species in extensions. This yeast cell is a eukaryotic type of cells. That is a eukaryotic type of cell. Then in this yeast, you have to use their yeast for their making bed for spongy. You have to use their someone as a solutions of alcohol and carbohydrate, carbon dioxide. This process is called the fragmentations. It is using for their processing for the yeast. That is yeast formation. Then these yeast are using for their some microbes used for their bakery products. Then you see there antibiotics. The carbon compound obtained from the some bacteria and fungi for the destroying or preventing the growth of the harmful microorganisms are called their antibiotics. These antibiotics are used for your body resistance. When you have to ill, then you have to use their antibiotics. Antibiotics mainly acts agent bacteria. Some antibiotics can destroy protozoa. Then there are main two types of antibiotics. First one, here the classification of antibiotics. Then on the basis of the spectrum and animal activities, then the first is a narrow spectrum antibodies, that is the penicillin, benzene, bactericidin, and the broadband spectrum antibodies. And here you have to use the ampicillin, tetracycline. These are the example of the broadband spectrum. Here you see there broad spectrum antibiotics are active agent. A wide number of bacteria That means these are the different types of bacteria it is using for their that the treatment is a variety of infections, diseases, and narrow spectrum bacteria. The narrow spectrum antibodies are active agent as a selected group of the bacterial type. That means it is a specific medicine to use that specific region, specific disease. That is, for example, penicillin. There is showing this is penicillin plant. These are shows like this penicillin. These are look like somewhat as a rounded dumbbell shape. This bacteria, and this is the showing that it's given as a bird's flying. Then this is the penicillin plant, and penicillin is a group of antibodies obtained from a fungus. Then penicillins, and it is used for the controlling the infections caused by the bacteria, and it is medicine containing the penicillins are useful to treatment certain bacteria infections of the ear, nose, throat, and skin, as well as the disease like pneumonia and scarlet fever. These are the use of this penicillin, and these antibodies are used for their control of their fungus or bacteria.